In ancient times, when the night was darker and fear lived in every shadowed corner, there were stories that were never meant to be told. One of them began with a letter. If you are reading this, it means I can no longer escape. I thought I could control it, but I was wrong. It sees me. It hears my thoughts. And now, it smiles at me in the reflection. The candle flickers out. Outside the walls, a dry, cracking sound echoes, as if something is breaking. Then, silence. The night was long, and cigarette smoke filled the office of Private Detective Victor Ray. He sat at his desk, studying the woman across from him. Her name was Annabelle Hart. Fear lurked in her eyes. "My brother is missing," she said, staring into the void. Her fingers trembled, clutching the edges of the photograph. Edgar. He spoke of the shadow that came for him. Shadow? Victor squinted, bringing the photo closer to his eyes. What do you mean? He said it hides in mirrors, she whispered. At first, he just noticed movement from the corner of his eye, and then the reflection started to act on its own. Victor remained silent, processing her words. He had seen many strange things in his career, but this story sent a chill down his spine. Where did he live? In our family manor. She lifted her gaze to him. I can take you there. He glanced at the photo once more. It almost seemed like the reflection in the mirror had moved. The Hart Manor towered among dead trees, its windows like empty eye sockets staring into the void. The door creaked as Victor and Annabelle stepped inside. Are you sure there's no one here? Victor asked, glancing around. Annabelle swallowed. After Edgar disappeared, I never came back. Inside, the air smelled of dampness. The house seemed to breathe. As Victor examined the hallway, something peculiar caught his attention. The paintings on the walls. Their figures seemed to have shifted positions. Victor stopped in front of one. A woman in an antique dress. She was staring directly at him. Or, wasn't she looking sideways before? A whisper. Soft, almost inaudible. Victor turned sharply, but no one was there. Edgar's room was untouched. On the desk lay a journal. Victor opened it and read aloud. The Herald watches. He comes through mirrors. Shadows are not just darkness. They are alive. Then, footsteps outside the door. Annabelle shrank into the chair, and Victor slowly approached the door. He swung it open. The hallway was empty. But in the mirror at the corner, he saw something. His own reflection, standing still. It slowly turned its head toward Victor. The mirror cracked. Annabelle screamed. We need to leave. Now. They hurried back upstairs and saw him. A man in a long coat, standing by the window. You shouldn't have opened the book, Victor, he said. Do you hear their voices now? Who are you? The stranger stepped forward, but his movements were strange, as if he were walking backward instead of forward. I am merely a messenger. The true master will come later. Mirrors began to crack. Reflections of people appeared, but their eyes were empty. You are bound to it now. Victor fell to his knees. The voices in his head grew louder. The stranger vanished, leaving only the scent of ash. Victor opened his eyes. Annabelle held the grimoire in her trembling hands. What now? He croaked. She slowly lifted her gaze. Now, it has chosen you. Final shot. Victor turns off the light. In the darkness, only two faint eyes remain, staring from the mirror. End of part 1. To be continued.